You got trouble. You got trouble in the multiverse, you see? You got trouble with a capital D, T that rhymes with D, that stands for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, you might be wondering, wait, what's with the Music Man homage? Do you think Hugh Jackman's going to be in this movie? No, but if he is, I'm going to look like Nostradamus. No, I just saw that how accurate that the YouTube transcript system is looking, so I'm trying to see if I can trick it. Hick it, and I'm never going to stop until I make him drop in front of... Fuck! So anyway, guys, welcome to a new episode of StillerBros the Movies, where today we are seeing Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. That has bugged me for quite some time since the title dropped. But like 3 years ago. Yeah, but yeah. So 6 years ago. Can you believe it's been 6 years? That's a weird place for sequels. Usually that's long enough that people have kind of forgotten about you, but not nearly long enough for it to be a nostalgia property. Though the fact is it can't be a nostalgia property because Benedict Cumberbatch has been playing Doctor Strange on and off for those 6 years in 3 other movies. Yeah, but 6 years ago we got our first taste of Doctor Strange with the original movie directed by Scott Derrickson, and then about 3 years ago when the Endgame was all wrapped up and done with, and we had No Way Home done in the books, and we were moving into Phase 4. Far From Home. You know what I mean. And Far From Home was in the books, and we were moving into Phase 4. We got the announcements of the lineup, and part of it was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, which was announced to be to include Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch jumping in, and Scott Derrickson was going to be returning. And it seemed like it was something. And also and one of the big things was that Scott Derrickson was saying that it was actually going to be scary. A scary kind of scary Marvel movie, the first of its kind. And all I can say after saying this, even as as someone who is not a big fan of horror, or for all the horror directors who jump into the superhero genre, it's kind of about damn time. Because we've had James Wan and David F. Sandberg and Scott Derrickson and James Gunn to a lesser extent to jump in, and it's about time we finally had one of these actually touch into the scary movie genre. Then about, I think it was March of 2020, Scott Derrickson stepped away due to some creative differences with Marvel. Though he has stated that there is no real bad blood between them, to the point that he still has an executive producer credit, but Justin Lin still has a producer credit on Fast to X. We don't know where that's going. But yeah, there's going to be but yeah, Scott Derrickson's still an executive producer. He's still cool with Marvel. But then we were like, well, they got to find a new director for this thing. Who are they going to get? And then news dropped, and it had the internet excited. Because after a 15-year absence from the superhero genre, Sam Raimi, indie horror auteur and a film nerd's film nerd of a director, the man who created what many believe to be one of the best superhero movies of all time with Spider-Man 2, and was basically created the quintessential superhero. There is no superhero movies today without that first Spider-Man movie 20 years ago. And now here we are. With Sam Raimi directing his first movie in years. Can you believe it? In 15 years since Spider-Man 3. I hate being an adult. Yeah. 15 years to the day since we saw Spider-Man 3. We are seeing this for the record. Yes. But in 15 years, Sam Raimi has directed only 3 movies since Spider-Man 3. Drag Me to Hell, Oz the Great and Powerful, and this, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And now that's weird, right? Oz the Great. Three completely different movies. You got a horror movie, a family blockbuster, and now a new superhero movie. And that family blockbuster was 9 years ago. It's been 9 years since Sam Raimi actually directed a movie. He's been producing a lot, mostly in the last nearly decade, and made mostly the stuff by Fede Alvarez. But yes, we have Sam Raimi taking the helm. We have Michael Waldron, who recently just got off being the head writer of Loki Season 1, which, by the way, this is also the first Marvel movie where the TV stuff kind of matters.
So if you if you thought you could skip What If, I'm gonna let you just go watch it, watch all of it. I'm not gonna give you any specifics because we want to kind of play this as if you haven't seen the trailers already. You've seen none of the trailers already. So go ahead, click off this video, go to Disney Plus if you have it, watch every episode of What If, and then go see the movie. Now is the biggest time for you to actually binge that entire series.
But we have Loki about the multiverse, we have What If about the multiverse, and we have WandaVision, which is going to be leading into this because we have Elizabeth Olsen returning as the Scarlet Witch.
But there's still the fact that there's one star of the ship, judging by the title, and that is Benedict Cumberbatch returning as Doctor Strange for the 4th time in the past 6 years.
Yes, he is, and obviously we've loved Benedict Cumberbatch in the role. We just loved him in No Way Home, and now he's coming back to it to finally headline a Strange movie again. Yeah. And along for the ride, we also have Benedict Wong as Wong. We have Chiwetel Ejiofor returning as Mordo. We have some other characters that we're not going to really just bring up into this.
There's also Rachel McAdams, who for a while we didn't know if she was coming back in the role of Dr. Christine Palmer.
And then something to make the Edgelords cry blood. We have the MCU debut of America Chavez, played by Xochitl Gomez.
Who, to all the fans of the Netflix Babysitters Club adaptation, sorry it got canceled. I don't think that her having to leave factored into it much. But anyway, yes, America Chavez. She's Latina. She wears the American flag. She's gay. She's raised by 2 successful gay mothers. And all of that, and also young woman. Because nothing makes me happier than knowing that Ben Shapiro is unhappy.
Yep. But yeah, we've got some great cast. We got a great cast. We got some big characters coming in. We're so excited to see some of these,
especially since Multiverse of Madness. When they announced it, they didn't make it clear that when they said they were going to do a multiverse, they were going to even throw in a bunch of characters that they never would have talked about.
Especially since they were still playing coy with some of the characters. But it doesn't matter now because now we're seeing it, and it's going to be great, and it's going to be exciting to see.
Also should probably mention Michael Giacchino could not be involved in the score, or because he was too busy doing Batman. So instead, they replaced him with Danny Elfman,
who is a Sam Raimi regular. Granted, they had a falling out in Spider-Man 3, but they got back together for Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yeah, so they got Danny Elfman to score his first Marvel movie since Age of Ultron.
Yes.
And yeah, that's gonna be good. But yeah, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. There's fan theories galore. There's spoilers that millions of people could throw out.
So we weren't even really trying to avoid, but we avoided them.
Yep, we are game. We are ready. This is going to be the start of the summer because for some reason the summer blockbuster season starts in May. They never explained that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're pumped. We're ready. This beat's about to get heavy.
But we're ready to go. So we will see you guys after the jump. Okay, we're out, and like we said last Marvel movie, do not let anyone spoil this for you.
You may, only unlike last time, you may think you've got every single spoiler down, but you don't.
Yeah, so with that being said, let's jump into it.
So, when it comes to directing, Sam Raimi did not pull his punches at all. This is the most Sam Raimi directed superhero movie ever.
Even pushing Spider-Man out of contention. It is horror. It is a comedy. It is everything that you would expect out of a Sam Raimi movie.
And there are just whole scenes in this that where in the margins it just feels like Sam Raimi being like, what? So what if I'm remaking Evil Dead for like the 3rd or 4th time? I'm doing this because I can have fun with it because I'm Sam Raimi, bitches.
He is basically taking a lot of references to Evil Dead and making them into a superhero movie, which is exactly what you would probably want a Sam Raimi superhero movie to be, outside of any of the Spider-Man movies, because those are obviously untouchable classics.
And through it all, we've got it all being pretty much anchored by Benedict Cumberbatch's performance, built around the idea that Benedict Cumberbatch needs to play multiple Doctor Strange variants.
As well as the fact that we have Elizabeth Olsen playing doing her best performance she has ever had in the MCU, period. Yes, I'm including WandaVision, which is...
It's that good.
It's hard to beat, but it's that good. Which you would think is hard to beat, but nope, it's that good.
And this is just so emotionally rewarding, too. But first and foremost, it's a scary movie.
Yeah, it will... There are moments where you are on the edge of your seat because you know something scary is about to happen. It is very tense.
I don't know if this is exactly what Scott Derrickson had in mind when he pitched it to us to everyone at Comic-Con by saying this is going to be the first scary Marvel movie. But my God, was Sam Raimi the perfect person to put this together? And ever since we saw the trailer at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home, I have been in love with John Matheson's cinematography in this film because it's just so brilliantly beautiful. It shows off every set, and once again, when it comes time for it to be a Sam Raimi scene, it gets into a Sam Raimi scene.
And we get some... But that not saying we're not getting MCU stuff. We're getting a lot of MCU stuff. Cameos that we're not going to spoil because even though you probably know a bunch of them,
you don't know all of them.
No.
And that's the biggest thing. And now that we have opened up the multiverse, there's only one character that we can't wait for. We'll stop doing this joke when we're in a Gwenpool writer's room, people.
Yeah. Seriously, Kevin, send us a Zoom link. We're ready.
Anyway, other things to bring up. We saw the Thor Love and Thunder trailer at the front of this.
On the big screen, which just makes us all the more excited for Thor Love and Thunder in 2 months.
Also, another thing, don't know if this is going to be a thing with a bunch of other theaters, but the opening lines are in Spanish. I'm only saying this because we accidentally got the Spanish version of the Lightyear trailer.
Yeah, that was just a particular thing that may have only happened to affected our experience. And finally, when we're talking about trailers quick, even though we don't usually review trailers, but we're just going to talk about it because everybody's probably going to be talking about it. We have Avatar: The Way of Water.
Now, everyone knows that Avatar was over 10 years ago. Nobody has really thought about Avatar in any distinctive way other than to say, yeah, that was definitely a thing that happened. I mean, I guess it was kind of cool at the time, but now it's been 10 years.
Even then it was kind of overrated. But now we finally have a trailer to show that they actually do have an Avatar 2 coming.
At some point, there will be an Avatar 2 coming out.
And so, with that being said, not really much to say about this trailer.
Yeah, it's fine. The visual effects are way more realistic.
Really, the only thing I can say is the whole trailer showed nothing, said nothing, and basically was just a glorified tech demo.
So it was Avatar.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyway, back to the movie at hand, and Rachel McAdams actually gets to do stuff in this.
Yes, she actually gets to do more than just show up in maybe 3 or 4 scenes and then she gets to be a centralized character in this in a lot of ways.
Also, Danny Elfman's score, so good to the point that at one point there's a fight scene where he is as active a participant as the two characters in the scene.
He is having, Sam Raimi just pulled his string and was like, go for it, man. Do your shit.
And especially with the fact that because of the fact that this movie actually has a few little cameos in it, Danny Elfman can throw motifs in here and there. Like, for example, like the only example I can give that won't spoil anything, the WandaVision theme.
Yes. Because obviously they're going to have to touch on WandaVision. But we have so much cool character stuff, and that's obviously what we come to a Marvel movie to expect at this point, is advancement of where these characters are going. And we have a good idea of where some of these characters are going.
Others, not so much, but that's good. But that's a good thing. Oh, also we should probably actually talk about America Chavez.
Yes, America Chavez, who obviously had a lot of little details just on her costume alone that
jacket, everyone's been talking about. Everyone, ever since it came out, has been talking about that jacket, about how it's got all these little details into it. When you actually get to see it in the movie, you're just like, I kind of want to see a very close up of that jacket. But
like, if we could just see that jacket, get up close and personal to the jackets, like, you feel the material. Like, that's another thing about this movie, is the costume design is insane. Like, there's details and dirt and scuff marks all over the thing. It's aged to beautiful perfection, and you just want to get up close and feel the material and everything.
And we're sidetracked again. Xochitl Gomez is great. We're just going to say
she is great in this role. I can't wait to see what she does with this role next.
America Chavez hopefully will get something really good coming up in her future.
And there's going to be there's obviously going to be a lot of representation with her outside of the 12-second reference to her moms that Marvel refused to cut out for other countries.
But the thing is, I think America Chavez will definitely be, when they get around to it, Young Avengers. That's going to be something way on the horizon. The
groundwork is laid. And there's obviously an idea of where we're going with this. But right now, it's very interesting to see where Marvel is going. Obviously, we are still very slowly burning away all of the stuff we know is coming, with the fact that Moon Knight wrapped up yesterday.
And now we're just kind of waiting. We're
just going to be twisting in the wind a little bit until Miss Marvel comes around.
And that's not until late this month, but
June, the beginning of June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have until about June 8th, which is about a little over a month away.
But anyway, we're kind of waiting until Miss Marvel comes out at this point, because now we've seen all that the MCU can offer for us,
and Phase 4 is still continuing to show a larger dynamic universe that we've been waiting for.
And now it's deeper into the multiverse, because because Doctor Strange has found a way to open these gates. The floodgates are open. Characters are allowed to move around in it, and whether or not certain things from this movie start to spill into the main Marvel Cinematic Universe, well, we'll find out. But for right now, we got some pretty good stuff.
Yeah. I can't wait to see Thor: Love and Thunder. I can't wait to see Miss Marvel. I can't wait to see... we'll probably see we'll probably, by the time Love and Thunder comes out, have seen at least something from Black Panther 2.
Yeah, that one.
But that one,
there's gonna be a lot to talk about.
There's gonna be some crazy shit going on with that one, but we'll talk about that when we get to that. Hopefully in November, we'll see how things go.
And so I think that's it for right now, guys. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to tune in next time when we go to infinity
and beyond.